big announcement yesterday. So Governor Sherrill, good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
So let's talk about this, right? You're calling it the most fiscally responsible budget for New Jersey in years, but some would say it's also the priciest, right? So can you kind of talk about the main factor that may be driving it a little bit higher than in previous years?
Sure. So this is an affordability budget, as you said, the most fiscally responsible budget New Jersey's seen in years. The last 8 years, the budget's gone up by about 6.8%. This only goes up 1.8%. That's under the rate of inflation. Those costs in healthcare, in education, et cetera, driving cost up. We've seen over $1 billion in hits from the federal government, the COVID money drying up. But at the same time, this budget pays our bills. It fully funds the pension. It's given the most property tax relief a budget has ever given to New Jerseyans, because I heard, as I was going around the state, about those kitchen table issues, cost, protecting our kids, driving a government that's accountable, and that's what this budget focuses on.
Yeah, I mean, you are keeping one of your campaign promises. You are not raising taxes for individuals. But under this proposal, businesses are going to have to pay more taxes. So can you lay out what that looks like?
So as you can imagine, when you set out a tax plan to focus on incentivizing certain businesses, in some of these programs, in this case, small businesses, really making sure that we are helping them stay resilient. This was put in place, for example, one of them after the Great Recession. So making sure our small businesses thrive, which are really the lifeblood of New Jersey. But the federal tax policy has changed, and over time, some of our large corporations were utilizing this tax program. So we wanted to close that loophole so that the tax incentive really went to those small businesses that it was meant to support.
You know, you're calling for $2 billion in cuts. Now, we hear about budget deficits in New York, in New Jersey, kind of all around the country, right? But then people want to know, where are those cuts? How is it going to impact me at home? So is there anything you can lay out on where those reductions will actually be made?
So we started off by sort of these one-off spending items that had kind of crept into our budget. So instead of 1 year, a program building a turf field, suddenly that seemed to be in our base budget, and that money was going out year after year after year. So really starting off by leveling the budget and making it more accountable, and then making choices from there. But really what we were looking at was making sure some of our programs, like I said, this is the most property tax relief we've ever given out. And yet that property tax program was targeted at people, giving tax relief to people making $500,000 a year with, money in the bank. So we really targeted it at middle-class families. That brought down some of the money. Also looking at some of those tax loopholes that we were closing so we could drive down the budget. And in many ways focusing on how we were going to deliver affordability for families, both with utility rate relief, driving housing that people can afford, and focusing on the future for our kids, not mortgaging our future, which is why it was so important to me to make sure we paid off our pension debt.
Yeah. And your budget also focused a lot on kids. I mean, your plan earmarks nearly $14 billion for education. It's also going to include funding for mental health. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I'm a mom of 4 kids, 14 through 20, and I have to tell you, the mental health of our children has been severely at risk, and we have not done enough as a country to protect our children. And the federal government's failing. The mental health crisis is real, and the social media impact has really been kind of swept under the rug. In fact, as I said in my budget address, social media companies started to do a study on how social media impacted our kids, and they stopped that study because the early results were so terrible. We've seen horrible, horrible things going on, and the federal government has abdicated responsibility. So states are taking the helm, and here in New Jersey, we are going to be on the leading edge of states, making sure we get better results for the mental health of our children.
Okay, 2 things. I got rapid fire because I promised your team we'd get you out of here by 8:20. First off, utility costs. Will my bill go down before the summer? It is too high.
So your bill is so we have frozen rate hikes, so your bill won't continue to climb. It was set to climb another 20% this year, like last year. That has been frozen. That will not happen. And then we are driving more power into the grid, so over time we can lower those utility costs. We've cut through red tape and permitting. After really months and months of seeing no movement, I've already in my first month and a half approved 3 solar projects and 3 battery storage projects. In the longer term, we will drive in efficiencies in our natural gas and over time nuclear.
Okay, good, because I'm getting ready for the AC. And then real quick, because I got to get you out of here. Today, Zohran Mamdani, you know, I always ask you about him. He is meeting with the FIFA president. The World Cup is in New Jersey. Are you meeting with the FIFA president?
I'm continuing to meet with people in FIFA and will meet with everyone because we are looking to make sure that this is a great result, that our small businesses thrive, that we see a lot of opportunity in business here in New Jersey, and that the New Jersey taxpayers aren't left holding the bag for this.
Because where is the World Cup, Governor?
The World Cup, as you know, is in New Jersey, and we are proud hosts.
Okay, got it.
All right, Governor, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
All right.